Hello there, it's Matt again, and I'm just going to do a really quick video of the mods that I use in the immersive role-playing game of the life of Cathra, who's a Nord, possibly summoner of some sort, who spent 15 days in Skyrim and is just finding a way around. And I thought that due to a really nice request, I would share with you the mods that I'm using in the special edition on the PC and maybe explain a little bit behind why I'm using them. So this hopefully will just be a really short video. So if I go to load order, that'll probably be the best thing. So some of them are no-brainers. I think this one, which is huge, is just something that deals with all the bugs that are in there, which is great. And the climates, this was like one of my really easy, simple kind of choices, which is basically something that makes the environment itself in terms of the sky look better. And I already notice it playing it in game. Already I tend to look up a lot and enjoy looking around, and if I can spend more time outside, then I'll spend more time looking at the stars and things like that. But at the moment my poor character can't survive the outside for very long. This one, Folkstar, is one I've been looking forward to so much. It's a massive quest, or I should say just area that's been developed, and I can remember just when I had the previous edition of Skyrim and was using the mod system then to install the game, I really wanted to play it, but the kind of load order kept crashing and I really messed up, so I never got a chance to play Falsecar. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to being drawn into that world. Campfire goes hand in hand with another mod called Frostfall, and it definitely does kind of bring in a far richer kind of gaming experience. The reason I chose Campfire and Frostfall together is I wanted to make sure that when I played the game, the environment felt more real, because it's a really cold place and it seems odd that everyone's walking around with not many clothes on. And I just wanted to make it a little bit harder for me, and actually Frostfall was the first mod I ever installed on the PC via Nexus, and just that kind of blew me away how clever that mod was. Maids 2 is a really high rated quest line. I don't know anything about it, but you can see in the description that it's got like 17 quests, 79 voice actors, incredible. So I think in order for it to be as immersive, as engaging and as long as possible, I've tried to download as many side quests as I can find, and I don't regret not doing it, or regret doing it I should say, but the fact is I've spent 15 in-game days playing this game and I've only just left Windhelm. And I'm not saying I don't need these quests, but I'm saying this game is going to take a really long time to play, and I'll just be fascinating to find out when I get drawn into these things, because Folkstar and Maid, I know nothing about them, and the fact that it's 3 times bigger than Falsecar is phenomenal. The cutting room floor is I can't remember what this one is. I think it's just again fixing things that were in the original DLCs, so it's tidying up pieces. And again, this is part of the immersion, the realistic ragdolls and force. I remember watching when you used the dragon shout, you know, the characters would fly in bizarre ways, so I thought that'd be a good thing to get in. The static mesh was just a no-brainer again when I used the other system, Nexus. It was you have to get this down, so I got that down to make everything look brilliant. And then Skyland additionally is to make the place look great. It's a nice story is when I first got the game, my PC could run it at a really low kind of standard, or a medium standard. So when I bought this PC a couple of years ago now, maybe it must be over 3 years ago, it was nice to be able to play a game and shove it on high, so I kind of made the most of it. Forgotten City is that one dungeon, or expansion I should say, that has just seemed to have won a ton of awards. So I'm so looking forward to being a part of that questline too. As I said previously, I don't know what these are going to look like. Frostfall, I think I've spoken about. This idea of surviving in the wild. The Quality World Map was another mod I downloaded in Nexus and really enjoyed. If someone's got one that they prefer, or I think is better than the kind of vivid, I think it's the vivid weather one, isn't it? Then do let me know. But I really like this one. Okay, Evanvale is another trading settlement. I kind of like this idea of having a settlement where you could, it's a town, but you had additional quests, but also there's an idea of a home and there's trainers there. It's just something I've not really thought of before, but again, it's this immersion thing that's quite nice. Clockwork is another quest. Again, you can see that I went right into the quest options and saw what was available. The notice board has been both a blessing and a curse. I think it takes up like random quests that you can pick up and shoves them on a notice board outside inns, and I took that idea out because I thought, what a great way for a beginner coming into the world of Skyrim to pick up a load of quests and begin them. But I don't know if I've needed it, but I think it's such a great immersive idea, and actually it makes a lot of sense to me that that's the kind of thing that could happen. The merchants is not to do with immersion, it's to do with the frustration of not being able to sell your stuff. That was great for me. And the enhanced blood textures, I don't know why I checked that. I think I like the idea of the kind of the blood flying around. The lampposts in game, I've mentioned that I really like them. There you go, it's a mod. It's nothing to do with if it's a Nord or an Imperial race. Let's put them in. And then I think I picked up the perk points because I found that like leveling in Skyrim was a little bit odd, so I wanted to make it a bit, not easier, but a bit better. And the Stones of Berenzia quest markers, I wouldn't say gave up on this in the last time I played the game, but I wasn't interested. But now that I've read the biography of Berenzia, I'm really interested in collecting the stones. So that's great. The Diverse Dragons, do you know I downloaded this mod on Nexus and never got to see it because the game crashed. So the idea of looking at different dragons is very, very exciting, and just reading the side there that there's different types of attack. The immersive ventures, every time I start the game I always think about turning this thing off, just because there's loads of them about and it's almost like a saturation of them semi-clad women, and it just doesn't feel right. But they're harmless, but when you go to an inn they tend to clutter, so that might get turned off, I'm not sure. The Ars Metallica is this idea of building up the idea of crafting, but I'd wonder if this character is going to use it a bit more. It builds up the idea of being able to craft more than you could before. That one is this very purely unimmersive, self-indulgent pain in the backside. Last time I played the game mod that I changed. I'm a bit naughty with that one. And then you've got these Lord of the Rings weapons, which just sounds extremely exciting to me, to kind of just craft different weapons. Again, this might not be a mod that Cathra ever uses. If we have a look at what there is here. Yeah, will she ever want to? Maybe Glandring, right? Who knows? The waves again is to bring that sense of beauty and immersion, and Point the Way was just to clear up the signs. The real mountains is just being really lovely, looking at the texture of the mountains and rocks being a little bit better. And the immersive citizens is one that's highly rated. And actually I think this has worked. I think I've noticed the NPC AI being much better at kind of recognising the good deeds that you do, and I've really liked that one, so that's possibly be one of my favourite ones. Wet and Cold is a way of just building this idea of the environment feeling real. And the Deadly Bosses, you know, this is another one that I've kind of installed but not noticed anything about it yet. But so I guess I'm not high enough level to encounter some of these characters, but it's a new way of encountering different characters. The book covers I've adored, because obviously my other channel is about the lore and literature. And the relationship dialogue, I guess, is part of just building up this idea of followers saying different things, or maybe kind of relationships happening. I haven't really noticed it, but I think it was just to, I want to spend a lot of time in this world, and when you've got Nils talking about chopping wood every day and the same 3 phases, then it can get tiring. The Better Horses is the only mod there is to do with carrying horses, but what's lovely is they generally do run away when there's a fight, and I really like that. I don't like the idea of my horse suddenly knowing to fight, and I've just bought it from a stableman. Becoming a bard, I put that in because I like the idea of doing that, which I think's such a good idea. It's a whole quest in itself, really, and that might happen when I go to the Bard's College, but at the moment I've been drawn in a different direction. But it's a great way to start off the game when you've got no money to go to the nearest inn and offer to sing. The realistic water, again, is just a way of making the place feel a bit more real. And the meshes on weapons was that one. This one's obviously been probably key to me coming back to Skyrim. This idea of live another life. Cathra, I think, is actually the 4th life I've started in this game, coming back to it. The other 3 died. One died really quick, the other 2 not so quick. But it's just such a clever little addition to restarting the game, and it gives you a ridiculous amount of options. I've obviously gone for the harder option of just waking up in the middle of nowhere, hence why in the very first cast I was being devoured by wolves. The grass is just the classic, how strong is your PC kind of at handling this kind of stuff, so building that up. And then of course we've got the eyes. The immersive patrols has been excellent actually. I was a bit worried it would ruin the game because there's a lot of fighting going on, but it's great watching it happen, and I've enjoyed kind of crossing the roads at night, passing patrols, and it just seems a bit more real. If this land is in a war of sorts, then what would it look like? The vivid words is self-explanatory, as is the kind of skin mods of the different characters. That was something I was really interested in, and I wanted it for men too, but it wasn't there. I don't know what that one is. Custom items, there you go. The cloaks and capes was a must for me, mainly to kind of bring in that frostfall immersion, doing up the woods and trees, and then some beards and a better male presets was just so that men and women got better looks. As with the hair, I really like the hair actually. Undeath Remastered is another quest line that I'm interested in. Actually, it might suit Cuthra really well with it being a necromancer. The left hand rings was the idea of being, I think you should be able to wear more than one ring, and then the final kind of big immersion one is the I need, which explains itself really well. This is the idea that you will die from malnutrition or through thirst or through hunger, whatever, if you don't look after yourself. So that was pretty much everything for me, and the kind of little kind of coughing and grumbling noises and yawning is sweet. This was a way of just changing what the characters were wearing, which is nice, and this is these two were kind of hand in hand to do with the more trees. And this one, the Magical College of Winterhold, I'm fascinated to see if it works actually. I better check the load order to see what it says. Do not store anything outside of the player room and Archmage quarters. Oh gosh, that's interesting. Okay, I better go and read this before I kind of go there, but I did install it on a new game. Okay, anyway, having now found that I'm going there, that's going to be interesting. This is another quest line, I think. It's a new location, another large. I've just kind of tried to put in so much into the world as possible. The female body replacer, better loot, which I think I mentioned at the very beginning, I feel is maybe cheating a little bit more because I'm finding everything everywhere. Although it was a bit harsh in the first game. This was just to do with looks. The Moon and Star is another quest, a smaller one, but still exciting to be able to get that. And then this idea of a quest to find a weapon is interesting. And this tied in with what I had actually, this Moon and Star immersion patches. I didn't want to be called a Dragonborn yet because I don't want Cuthra to know that she could potentially be that. And Dwarven Pride, I think, is another quest line. The lore-based loading screens I've starting to enjoy as I've read more of the lore. I wanted to do it the mage outfits. We're getting there, aren't we? These are the last few ones. So the mage robes, I thought anything I can do to make the characters, what they're wearing, seem more appealing would be great. And then the magic, I didn't really want to do this at the beginning because I thought I don't want to complicate it by having hundreds of spells, but the ratings on this was so great that I decided to take it up. But 155 new spells seems crazy, so we'll see what happens. But I'm quite excited about this now. I think Catherine's going to become a mage. And then I don't know what this. Oh, this is a perk overhaul too. So I thought I'd go full bang on everything that's out there in terms of options into character creation. And that's really it. They're all the different mods that I've got installed at the moment, but I do keep going back to the Bethesda website and finding out which ones are there. So thanks for watching, and I hope you found this a little bit interesting in understanding why I chose the mods that I chose.